feel me, put the game on. And if you really riding with me, throw it up, press start, play a part when we pop off.
My grandma told me to be the best that I can be, so I took the game industry by the balls and believed in me, and equally versed it with verses. So anybody wanna battle, get a pen and a paddle with two controllers. Focus, the flow is explosive, breaking every barrier and parry all opposes. Yeah, the game is mine and it's time to be ferocious. You can call me rap god when it comes to gaming culture. Embrace who I am and the world is gonna see it. The game industry, everybody wanna be in it. It's funny how the leaderboards will show you what is missing, and I get it, now I got it, cause I am top the position. Listen, from the hood, growing up, we ain't have much. Playing PlayStation with friends, felt like we had enough. It was those days with Sega, how we was raised up. Gotta love Sonic, cause Lost Rings that came up. Whoa.
This is New York City, we the home of the gritty. Gotta feel me, put the game on. And if you really riding with me, throw it up, press start, play a part when we pop off. This is New York City, we the home of the gritty. Gotta feel me, put the game on. And if you really riding with me, throw it up, press start, play a part when we pop off.
Yo, what's up, what's up? It's the one and only Furious Hip-Hop Gamer, Hot 97 Logitech G8MD, and I got somebody, son, all the way from Vancouver. It's going down, son. Now, we already know about game drivers and updating them so you could get better performance. But when you get a chance to talk to somebody that's about to take that term, that brand to a whole nother level, you gotta welcome them with the proper love and respect. So give it up for my dude, the one and only Big Rob Gamedriver. What's up, baby? How you feel, man?
How you doing? How you doing? So glad to be here today.
I'm amazing as always, dog. I can't wait to talk to you and learn more about what this is, man. So let me just keep it real and just like let you know what I thought when I first heard about everything. So I got the email, shout out to my homegirl Lisa, and I was like, yo, Gamedriver, what is this? Because I know what a Gamedriver is. But then when I read about it, how like this is a game-changing service for developers, VR, AR, like all this other stuff. So what I need you to do is let people know who you are, but literally please break down what y'all are doing with Gamedriver, because this right here is different. Talk to them.
So different. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is we are completely changing how quality assurance works in games. Wow. So we work with hardware, we work with software. We're not a gaming company, we're a tooling company. So let me give you another example, right? I spent a whole career working in business software. I actually worked for the government. Oh. And you know, if you walk and see your boss, you're like, hey man, I want to make this new system. It's going to make everybody's lives better. They're going to get what they need from us, all the services they want, and it's going to cost me $5 million. And my boss says to me, okay, cool. How are you going to test it? And I go, I'm going to hire 100 people and tell them to play it all day long, every day, and the whole development cycle. And he says, you're fired. Like, you just can't do that. Wow. It's just not the way it works, right? But for some reason in this industry we love, right? Gaming, like it's so much fun. We spend all our time doing it. The way we test this stuff is so old-fashioned. We do it all manually. You bring in, you know, hundreds and thousands of people and you make them play the same game over and over and over again. That's not fun. We're changing that.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. Yo, Lisa I'll be about to bring Lisa in right now. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, make sure yo, Lee, you in here? Yo, Lee, you here? Yo, Lee, did you make it in?
I did. Hey.
Yeah, what's going on, Lee? That's what I'm talking about. Yo, what's up, man? Yo, this is fire. So, yo, Lee, I'm gonna tell you right now. So, like, yo, the interview is sick already. Now, do you want to be a part of the interview, or you gonna hang out in the background? What you want to do?
You cool if I just hang out in the background?
Yo, I'm down. It's like whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? This is fam right here, so we all good.
I'm not the star of the show. I want Rob to be the feature and all that.
So, all right, so we lit. So, Rob, I gotta ask you this, man. Like, when you talk about the old-fashioned way of doing quality assurance, it's so interesting that you brought this up. Is because I had conversations recently at GDC about this very thing in terms of like what it takes.
Come see me at GDC.
Yeah, I should have. Like, I didn't even know, but I should have came by to see you in person at GDC. But this is a common conversation, just in development overall. So with Gamedriver, break it down in terms of like, how does it work in practice? We know what the goal is, but how does it work in practice? How does this get implemented and to become a standard that the industry needs?
Sure. So one of the ideas is that we start with a single object. You add a single game object to your game.
Okay.
That's it. And then you use test frameworks. So like NUnit is a really common testing framework that's used by developers for unit testing. Right. We integrate into that, and we can control anything that's within the game. Any player, any property of a player. I can look at a scene and say which bad NPC has the key that I need to go to the next stage, and I can go straight there and I can start interacting with them. So what we can do is you can start building up these repeatable actions, and then you can start playing them over and over again. So this helps the testers, because they know when they come into work that a lot of stuff's already been tested, right? They've already gone through this base level testing. It helps developers because you can run the automation over and over and over again, so it saves them time, and they get feedback right away. If something's broken, they're going to find out as soon as the build runs, as soon as the tests run on the build server, hey, this is broken. And one of the other things that does is it means that, testers aren't spending their entire day fixing or testing a build that turns out to be broke. What's the point of that? That's wasted effort. One of the things we want to see happen is that, as you start to build up your tests, the work that gets done is something that's repeatable. You can use it over and over and over again. So like right now, testing effort it's a consumable, right? You drink it up and you're done. And what should be happening is all of that work that we do can be played back over and over again, just like this interview. We're going to do it. It's going to be on the internet. I can go back to YouTube, or I can go look at it. I can watch it again and again and again. And people who are interested can come in and see it in the future. If we had to go and do this live for every one of your audience members, we'd both be pretty tired.
Oh my gosh. Yo, that is the dopest analogy ever. Yo, oh my gosh. Yo, this is something, they should be spending billions of dollars on something like this. You kidding me? Yo, this is crazy. Okay. So now you just open up my mind that much more for more questions. So the main question that everybody would want to know based off what Gamedriver is how does this impact like bugs and like bug fixes and stuff like that in the game industry overall? Because right now you always get a lot of patches, a lot of games that release is never seem to really be done. You know what I mean? It's always these problems. So how does Gamedriver, this particular software, directly attack those particular issues on games that are shipping?
Yeah, there was a game released at the end of 2020. We'd all been waiting for a long time. I don't like to call out studios that we might work with in the future. But,
okay, respect that.
It's sort of future-y, punk-based type area. And
I know what you're talking about. I'll say it, Cyberpunk. You know what I'm saying? Right. They had a bad launch. Like the one thing about my show and just me, period. You know what I'm saying? I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do, and I'm keeping it honest and fair. And my thing is, if you tiptoe around the problem, then the problem never gets done. And if you truly care about this, then you have to own up when you do something great, and you have to own up when you make a mistake. We all still learning here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. And so Cyberpunk on PC wasn't that bad of a game.
Right.
On PS5, it wasn't a bad game. On Series, it wasn't a bad game. But on the PS4 and the previous gen Xbox, it was pretty bad, right? So one of the things that has to happen is when you're testing your game, think about how big an open world game is, how many side missions have to be tested, all the bosses that have to be fought, right? Everything has to be interacted with, and all the different variations in the world. It's more than what any one testing team can do with the way they do it today. So with something like Gamedriver, you would write that test once for your lead platform for PC, but then you'd be able to run that test across all your consoles. And you'd be able to get results back saying on PS5 and on Series, it's doing just fine. But on the Xbox, it's not doing very well. Or we can, as we start to introduce more functionality, go, you know what, we've seen a 1.5% drop in performance. Our frame rates are dropping by 10. Let's figure out what that is. So we can get into optimizations a little bit earlier, right? And that's like the main AAA stuff. Mobile is even worse. You've got Android and you've got iOS, but no two Android phones are the same, particularly, right? They're different versions, different subversions, different patch levels, different models, and so you've got to test across all those because the experience is going to be different for each user. If we're trying to do that manually, I've never met anyone with more than 2 thumbs. And that's what we're all limited to, right? So if I can take my 2 thumbs and make something that's reusable, something that's going to be more useful in the future, then that becomes a lot more powerful than, like, I go back to saying, a consumable. And on the other hand, as well as this, I mentioned that idea of you going through and if we were to go and talk to each one of your audience members one by one, it was only the intro question, that wouldn't be so bad. But as we go through a game life cycle, we start building more and more and more material. So that gap gets bigger and bigger.
Yes.
If I have to go and redo the entire interview with everyone in your audience, that's going to suck a lot. Yes. But if I can say, here's the first 15 minutes, now all you need is the last 5, that's going to make it a lot easier for us to go and hit all those audience members. I mean, we could never do it because too many people like you, but just right.
I like that.
But like a smaller distribution might be able to be reached.
Yo, that's incredible. I'm so fascinated by this whole conversation right now because what we're talking about is something that seemed impossible. Like, you know what I mean? But now it's here. So, case studies. I gotta ask you, bro. What can you point to right now, even if it's something that's not public knowledge maybe or whatever, but something that you could point to right now that's a direct reflection of the impact of Gamedriver? Can you give us some case studies right now that we can like pay attention to and look at and observe?
Yeah, 2 things. This industry is incredibly secretive and they don't like telling anybody anything unless it's on their terms. But I do have a case study. One of them is a company called In Context Solutions. It's actually not a gaming company. It's a VR company. They do marketing. It's really cool stuff.
Okay.
They reduced their testing by 85% after using Gamedriver. Testing time, more test coverage, less time.
Wow, by 85%, bro?
85%.
So now to follow up and continue with that question, what was their response to you? Like, what was their testimony to you on how this helped them as a team, as growing their game development skill set, their overall flow of operation, things of that nature? How did that result change the narrative on how they approach game development going forward now?
So one thing everybody talks about with automation is it going to take away my job, right? I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to kill it right now. So what they did is they didn't change the number of people they had working on the project, but by taking the ones they have, they now get to do other things. So instead of using, again, go back to this consumable, right? So instead of just doing a one-off, now they're going and saying, okay, I'm going to be able to run these tests over and over again. So they're building a test bank, right? So they're getting more tests they can run in a shorter period of time. But what this did was a couple of years ago, they were doing an update of their Unity versions, going from one version to another. We found defects with our automated testing that they hadn't identified in their manual testing, and that would have been pushed out and broken the experience for their customers, because it's the repeatability, having the same thing happen over and over again. People are really, really bad at doing the same process in the same way every single time. That otherwise, the Souls games wouldn't exist.
Right,
it's all about repeatability, right? Being able to execute perfectly. And I was playing Returnal, like bullet hell type games where you're just like, okay, I have to follow these steps and this sub movement in time just to get through the next stage. It's all about precision, right? We're not particularly good at that over and over again.
Right. And it makes me think about like if you have a hammer and you try to like whether you banging a nail or something like that, if I take a hammer and I go like this and I try to do the same thing, the same exact spot, the same way, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like once you do it, it's like you don't get a second chance at a first impression. It's the same type of mentality when it comes to this. So, like, and humans just doing that process over and over again. That right there is crazy, bro. So now, this is my next question, man.
Yeah.
On top of all the case studies, is this something that's like a one size fits all approach, meaning that PC gaming, console, mobile, Gamedriver can work with anything, any program, so that everybody can benefit from what Gamedriver is, or is Gamedriver exclusively to be used with something? Like, like how does that work?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. We look at the game engine, so anything built in Unity, whether it's a mobile game or a console game or a PC game or a VR experience or AR, we can deal with any of those. We're adding Unreal as well. So in the next 6 months, we're going to have Unreal support too. So that's most of the games out there.
Yeah.
And I just sounded really Canadian, but that's okay. And
that's all good.
But so that's mostly you asked about VR and games. In my world, the way I see it, if I'm in 2D, if we're building a 2D project, the only difference to me is that the camera moves X and Y. That's it. If I'm a 3D game, then all I'm doing is X, Y, and Z, right? I'm going forward and back. But if I'm VR, I now become the camera. And that's the only difference. The way the world is rendered is actually being built up the same way behind the scenes, which means that our ability to interact with it and to work with it is maintained the same way across the different platforms.
That's crazy, bro. Like, every answer that you've been giving me has been look, I've been playing games since I was 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother, rest in peace, my grandmother told me how to play games when I was 4. So, like, just growing up and having all of these different experiences, different generations and eras that we lived through and played through, to get to this point right here where I'm actually able to speak to you about this, bro, is remarkable to me. It truly is. And I just thank you and your team just for caring enough about the culture to create something that will be this impactful to it. So I just admire you, man. Like, I just wanted you to know that. Like, this is incredible, man. So I'm gonna tell you this for my next question, bro. When it comes to Gamedriver being something that consumers can use, is there an opportunity where this can be something where, even though the developers are utilizing it to make games and save time and quality assurance, is there an end user version of Gamedriver where if you sitting at home just playing game, let's say you playing Elden Ring, like how you mentioned, and for some reason you was personally running into some bugs or running into something, when you run into a bug now, they give you the option to report it, and that you send a report and it goes to the development team and the powers that be. What if there's a way where every user can download Gamedriver, and if there's a bug or a problem that happened, whatever, you could just run it on your own and fix the bug right from your crib, and then just continue on playing the game instead of waiting to send a report and have somebody do it and then a patch come out? You can just do it yourself because of the nature of the software. Have you had those conversations?
Intentionally, no. In order to remove Gamedriver, all you do is you take out that same object that you added in to use it. It's removed. And what that does is that the game that gets shipped doesn't have any of our hooks in here. Game studios right now, they put a lot of effort into building in like warp controls and God modes and ramp escalators and like all these different triggers that make it easier for testing to happen throughout the game world. But what we do as players is try to figure out the quickest way that we can get access to those kinds of things to make the game easier for us. So what we want to do is we add in Gamedriver, which gives a lot of power to the game studios, to the developers, but then they also have the power to remove it, and all those hooks immediately disappear. And there's no way that those extra bits get out there in the wild. Now, what happens right now is you might go through and cleanse your code and say, we're going to remove all these hooks in there. And that's what, if there's any game developers listening, that's what they're going to say. They're going to be like, well, we already do that. The problem then is that you're either not testing the same game that you're going to ship, right? Or you're leaving stuff in there that can be exposed. Wow. And we solve that problem. But the second part of the question is that, yes, there is a way that people can use this on their own. If there's someone who's a hobbyist or they're looking to get started in game development, one of the hardest things to do and where you spend a lot of your time is doing testing. So we have what we call our ambassador program. We give free licenses to indie studios and individuals that are trying to build stuff, because we support the community. Like my founder, the co-founders and I, Shane, we met in 2003 playing World of Warcraft.
Wow, yo, I love stories like this, bro. That's crazy.
Like,
Shout to Shane.
So that's how this thing started. It started from like loving playing games, and then literally like 15, 18 years later, Shane's like, okay, man, we got to stop playing games so much. We were playing Destiny, and he's like, we got to stop doing this, or The Division or something. And he's like, I'm going to make a game instead, and you'll never see it because it's awful.
Wow.
But what happened was he realized he's like, I can't test this. There's no real way to test it. And we worked in test automation for the business space. I talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, we know how to do this in enterprise or in business. Why can't we do this somewhere else? And that's literally where this came from, like from the love of the industry, from the love of the business, from the love of play. And game testing is such a tough job. Like, I don't know if you ever watched Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj that's on Netflix.
Oh, no, I haven't, but you make me want to watch it right now, literally.
There's an episode where he does a half hour on the gaming industry, on testing in gaming and how hard it is and how grueling it is. And that's the problem we're trying to solve. Like, these are journalists going out there, like doing, John Oliver type stuff where they're like 20-minute segments on this is how bad the industry is. I'm like, look, we're trying to fix this stuff.
Wow. Now I do know how like tough testing is. I know like a lot of QA testers and things of that nature. So I know just by the stories and everything that I've heard and how rigorous it could be and how taxing it could be just on the mind and just that repetition. So I know they put in crazy amount of work. So trust me, like kudos to them. Now, one thing I want to say about Gamedriver is, to me, this doesn't seem like an option. It seems like a necessity. It seems like it's something that should and possibly could be more mandated. You know what I mean? Like, for real, like, because of how impactful it is at the percentage rate of how impactful it is. So my question to you, from a business model standpoint, how do we get Gamedriver to be the definitive tool that's used across, every engine, like anything that's used? Gamedriver is a part of it by default, like industry standard. Just like how we have an ESRB rating standard for product and shipping, like how does Gamedriver become an industry standard that's mandated and it's a requirement to be used? Because even with PlayStation and Xbox, especially with PlayStation, when you are submitting your game, it goes through a rigorous quality, process before it even gets shipped out to be brought. So I think we need this for Gamedriver. What do you need as a business to make that a reality?
This is what we do, right? Talking to people like you, people knowing who we are. I refer to the status quo as the permafrost in the industry. It's just stuck, and quite frankly, one person's work pays for your Gamedriver licenses for a week. Like one week of a person's work pays for an entire year of Gamedriver licenses. Wow. So there's no reason not to use it because everybody benefits, right? And what we're working to do now is, talking to you and getting the word out and going to GDC, and our booth. Our booth was crazy last week. Like, I had one of the guys from the venture cap firm that funds that backs us, and he said that also our lawyer as well. And he was like, they both like, we tried to come by 3 times, and there was a lineup.
Wow.
Like, we had 5 guys in the booth, and we were talking to multiple conversations at the same time. And we had like a projector with a video and a monitor, and we ended up just putting the monitor on the projector just to be able to show a demo to more, to a larger audience at once. Wow. I really do think that this is something that is truly beneficial to the industry. That's part of the goal. We want, or the biggest part of the goal. What I want to see is getting back to the days where we all get a surprise when you load up that game and you get to that new zone, and it's exciting to everyone because no one's seen it yet. We haven't had to go through a 6-month beta where all the secrets were handed out. Or like during the MOBA battles, right? When they were all fighting, trying to one up each other. I'm certain that, don't prove this, but I'm certain that one publisher or one studio was in the other's betas because they were all poaching ideas off each other. No one had a chance to set a flag in the ground and say, this is what we're going to do different and how we're going to change things, right? Because it was so rapid how quickly it was happening. That's the kind of thing that isn't fun. Like, that's not cool. It's not cool. It's not fun. Right. Going in and getting that surprise the first time that you fight a boss is great. I playing the Division when it came out a couple of years ago, crouching behind a car and wiping the raid because I fall through the floor for 30 seconds, so the game engine decides that I've fallen too far outside the zone. That's not fun.
Facts.
Right?
Facts. Yo, oh my gosh, man. Like, this is one of the dopest conversations I had all year. Like, for real, like, I'm so serious, man. So I gotta ask you, this is the $1 million question. Like, this is the question that you spend a chain on. You know what I'm saying? This is the epic question I'm about to ask you. Could this, like, in real time, in real life, like, seriously, in the game developer's world, could this be the beginning of us getting to a point where we can actually have it set up where the video game industry can potentially get rid of the bugs? And what I mean by get rid of the bugs, I'm talking about I'm just keeping it real.
I know.
Imagine playing most games in the industry and there's no bugs at all. Like imagine that becoming the narrative where it's like you play a game and it's actually stable from beginning to end, and that becomes the norm because of what's being built here with Gamedriver. Is this literally, realistically, I need you to tell me this, yes or no. Is this the beginning of potentially having a bugless, bugless gaming, if you want to call it that, from an 80%, 90% ratio or something like that?
Mm-hmm. I honestly think that for every time we are able to get rid of a whole series of bugs, we're going to find users that find new ones. But what we do think this is the start of being able to create reproducible, faster quality, and better experiences for most games. We really do believe that. I will never say, if I was to say you were going to get rid of all bugs, nobody would believe me. It's not a credible statement. But I really do think that we can reduce the frequency of a lot of bugs. We can give a higher level of repeatability. We can prevent or reduce regression. So seeing bugs come back in a year later because something was broken earlier on. Since we're now calling out studios, World of Warcraft, when they relaunched it, right? They pulled, like, I call it the Mexican peso experiment. When about 2 decades ago, they dropped 3 zeros off the peso.
Yeah. Like that.
So they did the same thing in WoW, where they went in and chopped all the power ratings by a huge factor. And if you went and rolled a new character in the opening zone outside Stormwind, you could sit there and try to whack at the white wolves for an hour. It would never die because the amount of damage a new player was able to do was less than the rounding errors of what they'd cut off. Right? Now, this was a zone that had been live for nearly 2 decades. But because you're focused on what most players are going to experience, the work wasn't done, or sorry, I shouldn't say it wasn't done because I don't know that, but the defects weren't identified and resolved in the entry level areas. And that's a perfect example of a regression error coming back in later on. Those kinds of things shouldn't be happening. Or, playability things, like I'm working on a bunch of side quests. Well, testing all the side quests in Cyberpunk. It's a massive game, 20 gigabyte game. And you've got literally thousands of quests that could be done. If we were able to start automating some of that process of the dialogue trees, the reactions that happen from them, those kinds of things, then that gives the testers a lot more time to go and work on the harder engagements, right? The things that we remember. Nobody remembers going into outside Stormwind and killing a wolf. I can't tell you whether it's a gray or white wolf right now because it's been too long. But I do remember the first time that I went in and cleared Molten Core. right? Like I remember that like it was, like the first time I killed Ragnaros was crazy. It was massive, 40 man raid, and it was getting all those people together. That was pretty cool. But and it's the same way now. Like in I play Destiny is the game I play now, so it's sort of the same thing. But nobody remembers the early stuff, but you sure remember when things don't go well early on.
Facts. That's true. That's definitely true, man. So I got a couple more questions, bro. Then we'll wrap it up. My next question is, when you look at a game like Halo Infinite, right? When they first showed this game, it was bad. And then now, even though they released it, it's still not what I feel it could have been and should have been, considering this is Halo, this is your flagship title, and this don't look like next gen to me. No, like the multiplayer was dope, that was cool, but the actual overall single player experience, nah, it wasn't all of that, man. And just keeping it real. So my question to you is, when you look at games like that, whether they indie or AAA like a Halo, like if Gamedriver was involved with the development of Halo, especially with a $500 million budget, how do you think, in your expertise and just you analyzing the situation from outside looking in, how do you think Gamedriver could have made an impact in Halo Infinite for the better?
Okay, so again, I'm sympathetic to the plight of the manual of the tester. Right? They have a lot of work to do. And if you think about like the beginning of a game, maybe we got this much work. By the time we're getting closer to release, you've got this much that has to be tested.
Yeah.
But the way they do things right now, almost all of that is being done through manual testing. And we're not adding 10 times more testers as we go. So that's how
it gets harder. It gets harder as you go. Yeah.
You just can't go back and do it all, right? And as a developer, unless you have good data that's coming from testers, it takes a lot longer to solve problems. So there's that whole return cycle of it as well. But what Gamedriver can do is if you've got this much at the end and you spent some of that time leading up to it, maybe 30, 40, 50% of that has been automated. So now what needs to be tested is only this much, right? This is the delta. So my crunch has been reduced. My tester is being more productive. And if we're introducing problems in that middle set, it's automatically going back with screenshots, with log files and everything else right to the developers. And they have not the written subjective, the notes from the testers, but they've got the objective data logs and screenshots showing exactly what failed on those tests, so they can fix those problems pretty quickly.
So I got a major question for you. This is another spin the chain question. You know what I'm saying? So have y'all thought about, even spoke with your investors or anything that you're working with technology wise, where you take the Gamedriver into the cloud, and what happens is any game that you're playing, no matter what game it is, no matter what engine is built on, whatever game that you're playing, Gamedriver is running in the cloud. So let's say there's a potential bug that's about to come up, but the Gamedriver in the cloud catches the bug before you can even experience it. So,
now I know what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? So let's say, let's say I'm playing, since we was just talking about Halo, let's say we're playing Halo, right? Playing the game, and I get to a part where I get in a warthog and the joint turns over, but I can't get it to turn back over, or it's stuck, or whatever. So my thing is, the game knows that like I hit the button to get into the warthog, like I'm about to go into this animation or whatever it is, and there's a bug that's gonna happen. But because of the Gamedriver running in the cloud, it knows the bug is about to happen, so it catches it before you even experience it. So as a user, you never experience bugs, even if they're there in the game because of the imperfection, the 1% imperfection.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
What's your thoughts on that?
It's not something I'm thinking of doing, but there is. Let me take some baby steps towards that. I think I can help. Okay, so step number one is I mentioned earlier, we take out all of our code before we ship. I don't want to have our library going into a game that's live, because that exposes hooks that players could take advantage of to cheat. So we don't want that. Right?
Got you. Okay.
So that's a really important, but that said, from being able to go into the cloud and do some cloud compute and some functional. Well, that's some really good use cases around AI, for example, right? I mentioned the division falling through the floor, but we've all played games where you get clipping issues, you know, where you run into a wall or you do this or that. That's the kind of thing that you can throw people at it as long as you want. And it's you're never going to find all those little exposure points unless you put some hard walls that break the experience. And, you know, the geography, natural geography of like the rocks on the side, like that should be what stops you, not just jumping and being told, nope, you're not going any further and falling straight down.
Gotcha.
So one of the things we're looking at with Gamedriver is doing that kind of work in the cloud, where we spin up the world and we put a player in there and we basically tell it to be a smart Roomba and just go around everywhere and touch everything and find out where these problems may exist, and then return that map back to the developers and the artists so that they can look at it and say, all right, we're going to make this is going to, if we move this here, it's going to fix that problem. And they can start to set up their worlds in a way that doesn't have either the breaks or the hard walls, and it creates a more natural experience for all of the players. So definitely partly yes, but again, doing it proactively, we've got to make sure we take our stuff out before it ships, because it is so powerful.
Okay, so oh my God, I know I said a couple more questions. We gonna wrap this up, but here's what I would say. So you have programs like you know, the EAC anti-cheat, you know, software and stuff like that that you have on, you know, a lot of games. So does Gamedriver, can Gamedriver work alongside those particular programs? So even if Gamedriver is running, this other program is running to prevent you taking advantage of what Gamedriver exposes. Is that an option?
It's so they've been installed at different stages in the pipeline. The anti-cheat stuff comes on later on, so by the time it really gets in play, we'd be removed. But because we are built into part of the game, we're not going in from the outside. We're not trying to do memory injection and like some, you know, the hacking techniques that are used to get into the anti-cheats trying to pick up. We wouldn't be picked up by it if we were shipped with it. So there is a scenario, but it would be a very closed world, like final testing. You know, we want to keep this version under lock and key before we send it gold and remove Gamedriver.
Got you. So here's what I would say, man. I love the project. I think this is great. Off camera, we gotta talk. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm very well connected in every area. I'm just saying that. So we gotta talk off camera, bro. But one thing I do want to tell you, that this is genius level work. This is phenomenal, bro. Period. I feel bad that I didn't get a chance to see you in person. We was out in San Francisco, but we gotta get together. We gotta do something, because this is incredible.
Where are you? I'm traveling.
I'm in New York, son. I'm from Brooklyn, but I live in Queens. You know what I'm saying? But I'm from Brooklyn, son.
All right, of course. So yeah, I know you're ready to say. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right,
so
dumb question.
We definitely gotta talk, man. Now to wrap this up for the final question, bro. If you had everything the way you wanted it, where you got the budget, you got the support, you got everything that you want, there's nothing that you can't do. What do you want Gamedriver to become? What is your goal? It could be whatever you want it to be, but we want to know, where do you see Gamedriver in 2022 right now, in the next 2 to 3 years? What does that vision look like? If you got everything that you need and there's nothing that can stop you, what are we doing?
All right, I'm gonna get a little bit emotional for a second. All right,
please do. Yeah.
The company I used to work for, they was an Israeli company, and they're sort of credited with inventing test automation. I started working there in 2012 after they'd been acquired by Hewlett-Packard, by HP. And I would go to talk to people who worked as test automation engineers, or who had moved into test automation, and they had started their careers in the 90s, and maybe been the guy that was the big advocate for bringing in the Mercury interactive software. And what they had been able to do is take themselves from being manual testers, which is where I see the state of, where I see game testing being today. But they built an entire career, and they were leaders, and they were mentors, and they were executives in the organizations they were part of, because they've taken what was in some ways a consumable type of job where they're like, you know, they don't mind if they burn you out because they'll get another manual tester, and they turn it into a much higher value to the overall organization and built a level of respect and professionalism that hadn't existed before. Wow. What I will be happy if, when I'm done with this project years from now, if I get to say I've done that to an industry. Like, it's not about me. It's not about the company. It's about, you know, I've been playing game. Like, my first console wasn't in television in the 80s. Wow.
Wow. Got clapping up for the television, son, no doubt.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And you know, so, you know, if we can change that, if that's what my company is able to do, is to change how testing is done, that's a success.
Yo.
And any step towards that, you know, that's what we go after every single day.
Yo, God bless you, man. This is incredible. Yo, I'm telling y'all right now, this interview was fire. This joint was crazy, impactful. Before we get out of here, yo, Lisa, you still there in the background or what? What you doing? How you feeling? What you think about the interview? Talk to me real quick before we get up out of here, son.
No, it was great. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to Rob. It was awesome. Really good interview. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Is there anything you need from me after this?
Yeah. What I'm gonna need after this is I'm gonna need Rob's number. And we gonna like talk. We gotta do. There's a lot of stuff we gotta do. Yo, Lisa, we gotta talk for real, because I'm telling you right now, like, I already have a vision, yo, on where this could go. Because me being a journalist and me being in the media, but also on the business side, business development side, just learning and understanding so much stuff. Like, I know the value that could be brought here from a cool factor standpoint to really change the narrative and get people to prioritize what Gamedriver is. And you already know, you know what I'm saying? I'm HipHopGamer. I'm the one and only. I'm the GOAT of the game. So I have a different type of energy to get things moving. You know what I'm saying? So like, this right here is crazy. So that's what I'm gonna need from you after we wrap up here. But just to close this out, yo, Lisa, you're amazing. Love you as always. Yo, I'm telling you right now, Rob, Shane, y'all are incredible. Shout out to Shane. I know he couldn't be here, but y'all are incredible. So on that note, it's the one and only furious hip-hop gamer, Logitech GAMD on your Hot 97 every day. That's my word. Gamedriver all day. Big Rob in the building. Talk to y'all later. God bless. The best is right here.
Much.
Peace.
Damn. Look, was it the most lit kid on the block? I had to find a way. Since a youngin' always knew I ain't have time to waste. Fucked up, couldn't even celebrate the holidays. When you from Harlem, that's some shit you don't tolerate. Right. Was doing bad, they did nothing but laugh. Every time I came around, niggas was cutting my ass, burning me down. Bitches extra curving me now. No love, even the freak hoes is turning me down. I'm like, wait. Gotta get my shit together. I ain't trying to come and go. I'ma try to be lit forever. Right. So I'm trying to flip whatever, long as I get the cheddar. Gripping the big Beretta. A nigga just want his bread up. But wait, the fuck been going on, B? Lot of shit been going on and they ain't call me. But fuck it, that's they fault. I'ma lay some more heat. Ball for ball, I'm sending niggas shots and it's on me. I'm one of the best, one of the most slept on. Secret of most weapons. Throw it, they might catch on. Y'all just coming out, I'm nothing to catch back on. Ask me how I made it, I grinded and I kept on. Right. Going like the Energizer Bunny. It's funny they ignore me, now they want a favor from me. Money is like you gotta have money for somebody to love you. If they don't feel like you sharing, niggas gonna say fuck you. Right. But through the whole grind, niggas never show you no love, but they gon' show you lots of it as soon as you get a buzz. Right. Even might start to dish you when they just need a hug. This what happens in the hood when you tryna get it above. Right. Niggas start acting shallow, then they fake when a battle. Snakes start to rattle, grimy niggas in shadows. Like damn, what the fuck I ever did to you? When you was lit and I was pop, my nigga, where was you? Right. Cause you was getting money, I was broke feeling pain. I was still happy for you, y'all niggas should feel insane. Word, so organized that I gotta chill. I Cash in 100 pennies for a dollar bill.
Right.
It sounds crazy, but the vision that I got is real. When I felt my first dollar, I just got the feel.
Right.
Facts that I got what it take. Had to plot and escape. Got it poppin' today. Time is not gonna wait. I'm kinda golden in my state. I got a poppin' team. They see me ballin' on you niggas. Try to stop the scream. Niggas mad cause the bad hoes stop and scream. Fuck they mean. I got pulled like a slot machine.
Right.
Shit get crazy though. Always wanted to say A high on the radio. Growing up on Linux, saying the fly is the way to go. When you fly and walk by bitches, they like, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, there I go. Winning of course. Chicken pound from Giovanni's. I'm dripping with sauce. Niggas is lost and sloppy. They vision is false. Be in the club with mommies. They look good. I song. Mommy Ben. We suave men. When they see the dinero, they be like, yeah. Rest in peace, Bills of St. John's Goblin. Always cherish the times we were St. John's Marvin. Rest in peace, Wayne on man, the streets move funny. Rest in peace, Clay, trail in a hat, new money. Rest in peace to all the fallen soldiers. It's hard to stand when we keep falling over. We need a lesson, Lord, call them over.
Right.
Call them over.
Yo, what's up? It's the one and only furious hip-hop gamer, Hot 97 Logitech GAMD, and we about to play MLB The Show Deuce. That's what I'm talking about, son. MLB The Show 22. Now, look, what y'all think of the show so far? You know what I'm saying? Let me know if everything look good and sound good, but what y'all think of the show so far? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Rob with Gamedriver. Major game changer in the game industry overall for game development. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Nino, man, with them bars, crazy. Shout out to Frank in the building. 108 Lemon in the building. Love you, bro. Mastermind, what's up, dog? Nothing is real. What's going on? Senior, what up? Chariot, my dude Chariot. Let's get it. You already know how we do, son. So yeah, let's get straight to the baseball match. Yankees versus Giants is going down. Once again, let me know if everything look good and sound good, all right? Salute. God bless y'all. Let's get it. I hope y'all having a good time on my show. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I do. Let's go to the Bronx, the home of hip-hop, baby. Yankee Stadium. Let's go. King Mo, I see you, baby. Oh, I see y'all, the Lords in the building. Much love. This game is fire, too. Fire, graphics, everything, fire. You know it's fire when you get the stink face like this. Doing is fire, son. Go. I still gotta get a little better, you know, at baseball games, but I really like this. I really like MLB The Show 22.
And going to the mound in this one for the Yankees, Garrett Cole. Anytime you have
oh, where are you playing today? No doubt.
That repertoire can be a real weapon in terms of keeping hitters off balance, man. It's one of those things.
Yo, they need to bring in the classic teams, man. I still need Derek Jeter. Look at the graphics, bro. Game crazy.
Now it's tough to do to be able to command all those pitches, but if he can, he is going to be very tough for the opponent today.
Let's go.
Stands in now and lets
Perfect.
that one go for a strike.
It's harder than it looks, though.
First pitch, 1 o'clock.
Next offering is downstairs.
Tried to backdoor him with that slider right there, but just missed off the plate. Good pitch, though.
Next offering upstairs.
Last couple of pitches breaking balls away. I think he's going to have to come firm inside to be able to.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be lit at PAX, bro.
If he wants to go back there later in this count.
Swings and misses.
The 2-2 pitch coming up, baby.
Next pitch in the dirt.
Oh,
and the count's
man.
full.
All right, full count. Come on, hip-hop. Come on, hip-hop. Woo! This is tough right now, so tough.
And
Go.
down on strikes he goes.
Got him.
And that's the first out.
Got
Well,
him.
he should get some fist bumps when he gets back into the dugout, because even though he strikes out, he saw a lot of pitches and he battled.
Let's
And
go.
This is a long haul where you're trying to get
That
that
was
pitch count
fire.
up as early as possible. So gave the guys
Mastermind,
behind
yeah,
him
you
an
gotta come out to
opportunity
these
see
events,
what's working
Mastermind.
for this pitcher or not. But I tell you what, it's a nice job right there.
Tommy LaStella to the plate. Swings through that one. 0-1.
I love that Garrett Cole is sort of a throwback guy out there on the mound.
The
Sort of that
commentary is
classic
dope in this
power
game as
pitcher.
well.
He's gonna
Graphics,
attack with that
commentary,
fastball,
gameplay.
move it all
As
around the
always,
edges
MLB
of
The
the
Show
zone. And
always
when he has
deliver.
to fill up the strike zone with confidence that
Go.
hitters can't touch it.
Yo, Lemon, yo, we could get on that 2K, bro. I'm telling you, son.
And the 0-2.
Definitely, man.
Got him. That's
Yes.
his second strikeout.
Well, anytime you can punch out the top two guys in a lineup to start an inning, got to be
Yo,
feeling
thanks a
pretty
lot,
good out there
King.
on the mound,
I appreciate
because
you.
when you think of just having a distraction, table setters on the base paths, and all of a sudden you're dealing with the #3 hitter.
Okay.
Any distraction can cause you to serve up a cookie, and instead of it being a solo shot, it's a 2 or 3 run homer.
Oh, let's go.
Swing and a line drive, base hit out into
man.
center field. Around first and hustling for second. And
Oh.
second with 2 gone.
I messed up. I threw it off.
Everything
Hey.
was on time and fluid in that swing. Got a pitch he could get the barrel on and lined it into center for the knock. Those
Wow.
always feel good.
That's fire. Look at the
Up to the
animation.
plate, it's Brandon Belt. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Cole, of course, the first overall
come on,
pick
y'all.
by the Pirates in the 2011
2 outs, baby. 2 outs. We
draft
gotta get him out.
of
Gotta
UCLA,
get him out.
And really blossomed as he moved
Go.
from Pittsburgh to Houston in 2018.
Yo, King, what up, King? Yeah, this game is fire, son.
With the fastball, 98 miles per hour up on the scoreboard.
And
Oh,
now
too
2-1.
high, too high.
He's one of the 2 pitchers to strike out 14 batters in 3 consecutive games.
Let's
Pedro
go, 2-2
Martinez was
pitch.
The other to do it.
2-2
But
pitch.
Garrett Cole, again, just a dominant pitcher that wants to finish what he starts.
Let's
Stays
go.
alive.
Oh, I didn't know he hit that.
Crawford at second with 2 down. Swing and a miss.
Let's
and
go.
that is that.
Made him reach for it. Made him reach for it.
One
Let's
left
go.
for San Francisco. We'll go to
Yo,
the bottom of
Terrell
the first.
Brown in the building. I
0-0.
see you, son. What's going on, baby? San Francisco versus the Yankees.
Back for more from the Bronx. Now the starting pitcher in this one.
BX, baby.
What's the scouting report
Give
on
it up
him?
for the Bronx.
Well, there are going to be a lot of balls in play because of the ground ball rate. Important that the defense stays engaged in the game. I think it's critical. Tempo is there. If you work quickly, it helps the fielders behind you to stay engaged, to make those plays, and help you get through the innings.
All right,
Back
let's
in
go.
the air. Leading off, Anthony Rizzo.
The first baseman, Anthony Rizzo.
Yo, everybody that's in the chat right now, drop your city in the chat so I can shout it out and show you love. But also, have y'all ever played MLB The Show? For those that did or didn't, let me know what y'all think.
And it's fouled away. Now the 0-1. Good eye right there. There's a strike.
Oh, that was a strike?
I think there was.
Yeah. A little slider action.
Let's
On the ground,
go!
right side. And it stays fair.
Let's go! Base hit, baby! Line drive. Line drive. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, he found himself behind.
Yo,
the
what's
count
up,
right
Han?
there, but he did
What's
get
poppin'?
in. I know that was a ground ball, but it was absolutely hammered through the infield. That's not one you're excited
Let's
to
go.
get in front of if you're an infielder. You know they used to say
Break E, not this joint is fire, son.
Aaron Judge. Now
Aaron
the
Judge,
plate.
come on, Aaron.
Good contact guy, good defender. First
Ah,
pitch,
that was
and
my
that's in
pitch.
for a strike.
I should have
For
ripped that.
Judge, he's really developed into more than just a power hitter. He covers the plate well, shows impressive awareness of the strike zone to boot.
That's critical, very important. If you want to be one of the best to ever play, it can't be all about hitting home runs. You have to have plate discipline as well.
The next offering misses.
Go.
Now 1-2. The 1-2.
Let's go.
Ball off foul.
Ooh. Come on, man.
At the belt and fires. Got him.
Dang, yo, I just tapped
Big
it.
power guy right
I just
there,
tapped it a little
generating
bit.
so
I ain't know it
much
was gonna.
back speed. It's
Cause
hard
I thought it was
to
gonna
throw
check
that
swing.
ball once you committed. They tried
Dang.
to check the swing, just couldn't do it.
Joey Gallo steps to the plate.
Let's go.
Ground ball could be 2. To second, that's 1. Row to first, safe.
Oh man. Dang.
Batting fourth, the designated hitter.
Yeah, I can make somebody steal a base. I'm not gonna do it right now.
Stanton to the plate now.
He consistently hits the ball hard. His exit velocity and barrel rate near the tops in the league.
First pitch, and he just
Go.
misses. Giancarlo Stanton certainly
Now I'm playing
a
on
physical
PS5.
presence, and Chris, one of the more imposing guys at the plate in the entire sport.
He's a force, and I think it's scary for pitchers thinking about making a mistake to him because you know you're not going to get that baseball back. He hits the ball so hard, you don't even have to watch him swing. You can just close your eyes and listen and know
Go.
exactly who it is that hit the ball.
The 2-1. And a swing
Dang.
and a miss.
Good late sink on that fastball. Out of the hand looks so good, and then by the time it gets in the hitting zone, hard to get the barrel to it.
Let's go.
To the
Oh
right
man.
side. They take the force out.
Ah.
And that's the 3rd out.
What up, Side Show?
For the Yankees, we played an inning, no score.
I no score.
Welcome back. Now it's the
Graphics
DH,
is fire,
Aaron
son.
Ruff.
Leading off for the Giants,
Fire.
the designated hitter, Darren Ruff.
Cole back to work. Ball 1 there. The pitch. That one's in there, and it's 1-1.
Go.
Freddie
You gotta
Ferguson
concentrate
behind
on
the
this
dish,
game,
calling
though.
the
Like,
balls
for
and
real.
strikes. The pitch.
Woo!
Swing and a miss.
Perfect.
It's 1-2.
Perfect.
Comes up.
Oh,
empty
let's
as
go.
he chases that one in the dirt. To first, but it pulls him off the bag.
Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 23, John.
Yo, I messed up the throw. Are you kidding me right now?
And first offering is
Oh
fouled
my
off.
gosh. Yo, congratulations, Sideshow. What's the name of the movie?
Ruff on at first, nobody out. Next offering is in for a strike.
Let's go.
Swings and
Hurry
lifts
up,
to
get it.
deep center field. That's back there. That one is gone.
Oh! They hit a home run on me, son.
Peterson bops one out. That's career homer number 149. And they grab the lead. It's 2-0.
Dang, man. I gotta come back.
A breaking ball on the inside part of the plate requires a hitter to stay really square with his mechanics. If you fly open with the front shoulder, there's no way you keep that ball fair. An outstanding job mechanically. He deserves that home run.
And now it's Wilmer Flores.
The third baseman, Wilmer Flores.
Next offering is down low. Ball one.
Can be tough to bounce back after a big home run, but nobody on, nobody out. You just have to treat it as a fresh inning.
All right, 1-1 pitch. 1-1 pitch.
And the pitch.
Woo!
Up and in, and he gets out of the
Almost
way.
hit him in the face.
Straighten him up a little bit.
Let's go.
I think he was sitting
Let's
off
go.
speed
Kenju, what's up, Kenju? I guess obviously you, cause you here. But God bless, welcome. Thank you for coming through to the show, bro.
Next offering is down low.
there. Really good take, especially
Wow,
with 2
3-2
strikes.
picks. All right, let's go. Let's go.
In the air out towards right center. Judge cutting across and puts the squeeze on that. And there's one down.
All right, one out. Let's go.
Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 6, Steven.
Now
Duggar.
batting Steven Duggar.
Yo, Project. Yo, I can confirm that Wolverine that's coming for PlayStation 5 looks just as good, if not better, than the Matrix demo. Yes. Yes. That Matrix demo, you're going to see that as soon as next year.
Righty to the plate. And strike
Well, I almost hit his ankle.
Right-hander kicks, deals. Swing and a miss, and he struck him
Let's
out.
go.
That's out number 2.
That
This is
show.
Joey Barton.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to, talk about you and say whatever they're going to say. But, I put God first in everything I do. And I just love everybody. Like that's it. I live my life by putting God first, leading with love. And, it is what it is. I can't control everything. I can't control everybody. I can just control how I respond and how I do things. And I'm just truly blessed and thankful to do what I love to do. Woo! It ain't real. If you ain't bust no checks, it ain't real. But that joint sound fire. That joint sound like Tupac a little bit. I ain't gonna front. Much love, Sasha. I appreciate you, man. God bless always.
Well, after putting up a nice inning on offense,
right, let's go.
got some
All right, we got a
runs
score
across.
now.
This is where you look for the starter to go out there, have a shutdown inning. Don't give that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the bats back up there while they're hot.
The wind of the pitch.
Let's go.
Up the middle. And they take care of Donaldson for the out.
All right. Okay.
Batting 6, the second baseman, Gleyber Torres.
Here is the young phenom Gleyber Torres. Torres, a guy the Yankees acquired for Aroldis Chapman back in 2016.
He is fearless. You can't tell if he's been in this league for 8 years or 2 years.
Too early. Too early.
Now, there's a
King
certain point
Sean
where
in
you
the
have to commit
building.
to what you think you
Yeah, I see you,
and
son. What's
he
going
gets
on,
wrong
dog?
right there. Nasty slider with just terrific bite at the end.
That looked like it was gonna be something.
And here it comes. That one not close.
Yeah, I got a haircut. I'm looking smooth right now, son. A Marvel multiplayer game exclusive to PlayStation? No, I didn't hear about a multiplayer Marvel game. Let's go!
Right center field. Yastrzemski settles under this one. Makes the catch for the out.
Dang, man. A little bit more power.
Batting seventh, the center fielder, Aaron.
Lynn Carter, what's
Aaron
going
hits
on?
the plate.
Of course, I got the NBA Jam cabinet.
And he swings and misses at the initial offering. They say it went.
Oh, come on, man. That was a check swing, man.
Oh, and 2 now. And a foul ball.
Well, pretty clear to me. He was trying to go deep right there, but you got to get a pitch that you can handle.
And the righty deals. And a foul ball, he stays alive.
Foul ball. I heard it hit something in the back, too.
The 0-2.
Let's go!
Short hop liner handled it short. They get the out, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 for the
Dang,
Yankees.
man.
They trail it here 2-0.
I'm trying, y'all. Trying. All right, so we're gonna go for one more
Back here in
inning.
New York, new inning getting started. And
What y'all
digging
think of
in
the
for
game so
San
far?
Francisco,
Talk to me. Let me know what y'all think of the game.
Yastrzemski.
Gamer number 5, Mike
And the
Yastrzemski.
pitch. And that one moves his feet.
No doubt, King Sean. Appreciate you. Let's go.
That's a laser base hit. Takes the turn. He's digging for second. And he's there with a leadoff double.
Man, those are
No,
the
they-
types of hits where you don't feel
Now back.
any vibration in your hands whatsoever.
Wow.
Such a good feeling. When you connect and it jumps off your bat like that, you're thinking double at the very least. Put a great swing on it, and man, he wasn't fooled at all.
Now here is Tommy Listeller.
Woo! Let's
Next
go.
pitch has popped up. And there's one down.
Oh, that's a frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter right there. I mean, that pitch was right down the middle. I think he got a little too excited, came out of his mechanics.
No doubt, King Mo.
Instead of driving that
Joint's
ball
fire, man.
somewhere,
I'm
he
loving it.
popped it up. Unfortunate for him.
Brandon Crawford, the next to hit, doubled his first
Sasha,
time
yeah,
up.
of course, man. That's the only way to be, bro. There's a lot of amazing things and there's a lot of bad things.
And
I
he
just
swings and
consume
misses, and it's 0-1.
the great things and create greatness, you know, around me and my energy and, you know, my area. Period.
One out and
So
a
I
runner
don't-
at second.
Whatever's going on, when y'all around me,
Line drive and a base hit. Yastrzemski coming home. He's
Oh.
in there.
dang, bro.
Picks himself up at RBI.
Now, that's dope. I didn't know that. I can set it to pass. I can set it to throw before I even get the ball.
Bury it. Otherwise, it's not too difficult to get the bat to it like he did that time.
Wow, look at that. Yo, you saw his facial animation and everything? Yo, that's crazy.
Runner on at first with one gone. Brandon Bell, the next Giant to hit. Next pitch downstairs, and that's ball one.
Eddie Brock, what's going on? Oh, yeah, there definitely is. Like, there's stuff I can't talk about, but
Left-hand hitter waits.
PlayStation did
Swing
the ultimate
and
deal.
misses.
The
Strike
ultimate
one.
deal.
When you throw a
PlayStation has done
fastball
the
by a guy
ultimate deal.
like that, I imagine it's got to feel incredible. Look for him to throw it again at some point.
Falling behind 2-1. Here comes a pitch.
Woo,
There's
let's
the
go.
swing and a miss.
What I think PlayStation can do to continue to be better is to, like,
And a
I
swing
think
and a
they,
miss. Down on strikes. And there's
one,
two
they're
down.
doing a great
That right
job
there is
already.
One of those breaking balls that you swing through and you.
The only
feel
thing I
like
would
you
add
should have
is
something with
I
it,
think they
or
need
at
more
least throw
system
it away.
options.
But when it's breaking in
And what
on
I mean
you
by
like that
system
and the spin is
options,
tight enough, it can
Like,
actually
I'm
tie
big
you
on
up.
cheat codes. They should have cheat codes available for every game. So you can play the way you want to play.
Next giant to hit.
I think that they should have it set up to where you can have better overlays for streaming. Just like how you have with PC.
He makes the grab. And
Something like that.
Is
I think
so
that
run in the inning on this base hit.
I think that
It's now
PlayStation
3-0.
should add a better reward point system for trophies. So if you get a trophy or whatever, you can exchange it for certain things. I know they're supposed to be working on some stuff like that, but you got to do a better job with it, I think.
Now it's the shortstop.
Yeah, there's quite a few things they can do.
Shortstop, Isaiah.
Webb back
All
to
right, let's
work.
go. Let's go!
Right field. Yastrzemski racing over to make the catch, singing 4 homers in 22 games. At Old
Hey,
Yankee
man, I'm
Stadium.
trying to go
Remember.
for it.
Well, I
Trying to get a
remember
home
my
run.
rookie year hitting 2 in one game, and before that game in the clubhouse, there was a gentleman there who owned a suit company there in downtown Manhattan,
Go.
and he said to me, "Hey kid, you hit a home run in the game tonight. Come over to the store tomorrow and
Go.
I'll give you a free suit."
Tosses across to first, and a couple of quick outs.
Up next for the Yankees, the first
Dang, man.
Anthony Rizzo.
Back to the top of the Yankee order, Anthony Rizzo steps to the plate, and he's already singled in this game.
So I went into the game. I
Wow.
happened to hit 2
That was
when
a
I walked
good
into the
single.
store the next day, and he looked at me and said, "You're trying to put me out of business, aren't you?" And that was a great
Let's go.
experience that I had as a rookie playing against the Yankees.
Come on,
playing in New
baby.
York.
Come on, get a base hit.
0-2 now.
Oh my gosh. Right there, baby.
Stays alive.
Martino! My dude, what's up, baby?
Righty delivers. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
Hey.
That's the 3rd out. Inning over. So the Yanks.
All right, y'all. Now, look, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I truly appreciate y'all, and I'm truly thankful. You already know what it is, man. This has been the Hip Hop Gamer Show. We had my man Rob on the show from Gamedriver doing big things, and Unreal Engine 5 is going to be a part of that. On top of other things. Crazy. Shout out to my man Nino, man, with the dope bars and freestyle on Bars I-95. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to y'all, the fans out there, for hanging out with me and watching the MLB The Show 22. Deuce. This is crazy right now. So one love, God bless. It's the one and only Furious Hip Hop Gamer, Logitech GAMD on your hot 9-7 every day. That's my word. You already know what it is, man. We out. Stay tuned for the next show. And I got some major guests coming to the show. Let's get it popping. I'll talk to y'all soon.